Traveling Table Tour 2020, where the table comes to you, right? So I decided to put a little project together over the summer where I went around and checked out where people, where they create, relax, and live, and we recorded an episode at the same time. So over the next 7 or 8 episodes, you're going to hear where I've been over the summer. And if you've been following me on social media, you can see it as well. But this is stop number 1, and it's a doozy. Man, did we have a good time. A lot of shit talking, a lot of laughs. But before we get into all of that, like normal, got a handful of things I want to throw your way. First of all, big shout out to liverishi.com for their support of the show. And it's super easy to talk to you guys about these products, CBD products that they offer, because I've been using them for years. And if you haven't jumped on the CBD train, jump now. Perfect opportunity. Go over to liverishi.com, use the code word table, get a great discount. We're going to show you how much we truly enjoy your support. And I use the tincture oil to help me sleep and relax. And then I also use the Reishi rub for, I'm telling you guys, if you got some sore muscles and joints, check it out. Game changer. And this is not your gas station or convenience store, drugstore quality CBD stuff. No, this is all high quality, third party tested, organically, locally grown stuff. Check it out. liverishi.com. Use code word table. And also, we have a YouTube channel. Yep. Walt's Kitchen Table is on the tube. I would love for you to go over there. Under my smiling mug, hit the subscribe button, like and share. It helps the channel out a ton. And of course, all the audio of these episodes is on there, but I have and will continue to put up video content where you can only find there on the channel. So go check it out. So on to the show. Welcome to Walt's Kitchen Table, where I feature captivating stories from fascinating people. Today's episode, first stop of the tour, Nick Krause down in, he's got a successful business down in Morristown. And inside that business, he's got a little place called 40 Pints. And, it looks just like a bar, really nice. Got a pool table, dartboard, bar, no poker table. So, Nick, poker table, just saying, poker table, poker table. Yep. Did you get that, Nick? Poker table. So any other thing that a lot of other things we hit on, talk about, he's a family man, loves his family, loves cars. We both love cars, sober golfing. That's interesting. And then fishing, or Nick's lack of ability to fish with a pole or with dynamite. And then his story that him and a group of people encountered a Bengal tiger is a lot of fun to listen to. So, with that being said, let's get to it.
Did you make me too loud now? Am I going to be annoying as hell when people
Well, dude,
this?
that's shit. I didn't need to make you loud for that. So, my disclaimer is I'm recording now. All this shit's going to be on the internet. All right?
Gotcha.
No editing.
All right. No editing.
So, you can cuss and swear and all that. But
All right. I typically do.
yeah. So, one thing, though, you said to me when we first were going, lengthy? What was your nickname?
The link.
The Lank?
Yeah, the link.
Link.
Lank. Like long. Lanky.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And they were talking about how tall you were, right?
Yeah. Everything's proportional.
Oh, here we go. Shit. Get fucking deep now, dude. God damn. No, good catching up with you, man. This is a fucking cool space.
Thank you.
You got a name for it?
40 Pints.
So, where'd you come up with that?
40 Pine Street, 40 Pints.
Oh, I didn't know it was 40 Pint Street.
It's 40 Pine Street, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then the little play on words, 40 Pints.
Pints?
Yeah.
Do you actually have 40 pints available?
No, but we just did a logo for it, and we ordered pint glasses with the logo on it. So for people who can't see what we're looking at, we're sitting in a bar right now at Krause Marketing.
Morristown, New Jersey. Used to live here.
Yep.
That's a fucking fun town,
yeah,
dude.
I know. Dave was here too.
Oh, Jesus.
There was a lot of things going on. Doyle was here.
Oh, let's move on from those stories, dude. We don't need to talk about those.
Okay.
We're all happily married.
Yeah, exactly.
But, man, you got pool table?
Yep.
TVs?
TVs.
You just need a fucking poker table, dude. What the hell, man?
I know. I'm thinking of one for my house, to tell you the truth. But I mean,
Why wouldn't it
you
put it
can't
here?
just sit at a regular table? Why does it always have to be green to be a poker table? I don't get that.
Oh, I don't give a shit. We
mean,
play
you
right
can
here
play-
on this
yeah,
bar,
exactly.
dude.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Get one of those felt.
Yeah, so people know where this. I don't know. Why do you need that? Like, because you don't know where the things go. I don't understand why people need the table. Tell me.
No, it's a
Tell me.
fucking. It's a.
Why? Why
It's
do I
an
have to
ego
have
thing.
No.
What-
I think they're ugly.
I do too.
Yeah.
Right? But it's we have to have a table. I'm going to build my own table. Man, motherfucker, just get a damn card table out of, or one of those plastic folding.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? But the reason for the felt is like if we were to play on here, it's kind of a bitch because everything slides and
Right.
makes a bunch of noise and it's just kind of weird.
Right.
So if you had like a thing where you just rolled it out here,
Right.
it doesn't have to have the fucking flop goes here.
Yeah.
There's a bullshit. Just get a cheap
that's what I
piece
was
of
saying,
green
though.
felt and just roll it here and then.
It'd be cool if we could play some pool, have some tournaments, have some side games, for the people that suck like yourself that aren't going to be playing pool that long, and then you could play poker.
Damn.
Do what you're good at.
Hey man, stick with what you're good at, right?
Exactly. I've known you long enough.
So I'll earn my money at the poker game and lose it at the pool table.
Exactly.
It's cycle of life, dude.
Yeah,
That's the same thing,
exactly.
right?
Yeah.
Right.
You're just going to spend it on something stupid later anyway. So
That's true.
Yeah.
Damn. Drugs and hookers.
I mean, that's your call.
Well, that's not stupid though. That's money well spent. What? How long you lived in Jersey?
So my whole life, yeah.
You were born and raised here?
Yep. I went to Florida for college, but that's the only time I've been out of Jersey.
How much do you remember of college?
Quite a bit of it. I don't remember much anymore, but
No, I'm talking about your college years, not what you learned.
yeah. No, there's some good times. I revisit those memories every so often. It was a party school for sure.
What was the college?
University of Tampa.
Okay.
Yeah, and there was a lot of places to go party, and then I was a fine arts major, so there wasn't a whole lot of studying required in my
Fine
major.
arts. What the hell?
I was graphic design.
Wow.
So I did a lot of,
I have my opinions
sketching.
there, but
I did a lot of sketching and a lot of,
Did you have any naked models?
Yeah, all the time.
What?
Yeah, figure drawing. I did figure drawing 1, figure drawing 2, figure drawing 3. I just kept doing figure drawing. They were all ugly, but it was interesting class. It kept you going.
Wow. You got girls that like lay out naked or?
Yeah, believe me, it's nothing to write home about. It's more like grandmas that lay out.
Well, no, that's like when people talk about nude beaches, right?
Yeah.
They're like, I'm going to the nude beach. You get there, you're like, what the fuck is this?
There was this one dude that was like 65, and now these people got paid $15 an hour, which in Florida, I mean, you could buy a mansion with. And he would come in, and he had to be 65, and there was a lot of wrinkles. It was
harder to draw wrinkles, right?
Yeah. And he would bring this big staff, and I think it was like to make up for something else, And like every time you draw these guys and the women too, especially with what angle you get out of them, because you got a circle around them. So depending on what angle, you get to decide like, what am I going to draw that part, or am I going to?
So wait, they're like in the middle of the room, and like you. And then you just, there's like desks surrounding them.
Yeah. And
then you pick a desk.
Easels. Yeah.
And then you pick that desk, and whatever angle that is, you're drawing it.
Yeah. Well, you pick your easel, then they walk in, they drop the robe, and then they pose. And then some of them are fucking weird with how they pose, dude. Like, it's like they want you to be looking at their shit and drawing their shit. Wow. And then some days you're just like, I can't draw that in detail. Like, that's just going to be one of those shadows, like, I'm
not spending time drawing this in detail.
No. And then there'll be like 1 minute drawings, 3 minute drawings, 5 minute drawings, 15 minute, they're called studies, not drawings, 15-minute studies, 30-minute studies.
So they would hold a pose for 15 minutes or whatever?
If you got lucky, you got the bad angles during the 1 minute poses, the 1 minute studies, right?
Right.
And then when it came to the 60-minute studies, because each class was 2 hours long.
That's a long time.
Yeah. So when you get to the 60-minute study, which was the final study, you're hoping that you didn't get like some weird angle. And I'm telling you, like, I don't know, like, if you just thought about yoga poses, like, and how awkward they could be if people were naked, like, that's what I'm talking about. Like,
no shit, they would pose like that, like a yoga pose?
Yeah,
or like
what's the one where like it looks like a dog? Like, I mean,
downward dog,
downward dog type of shit, like weird shit. So imagine if you got the wrong side of that.
So did you get the wrong side?
Oh yeah. I every once in a while, I'll like every time I move, I'll open up. So I still have a bunch of like drawings. And I'll open up my.
You didn't burn them?
Portfolio.
Oh, you're hanging on to them, huh? Spank. I get it, dude. I get it.
Oh, so gross. Like, I don't even like that. I don't know why I still got a bunch of them, because whether it was gross or not, if it was like a good study, like I threw it in the box, so because I have a couple hundred drawings,
Okay.
so like,
Yeah, what, 2 years of it?
So for, I did 4 years of arts. So
Okay.
I did 3 semesters of figure drawing, at least 3 semesters.
So they call it finger drawing?
Figure
drawing.
yeah,
Okay.
Finger.
Figure.
Figure. Like the figure.
Damn,
Human
dude.
figure,
No, you never got any hotties, huh?
Never. One was like a MILF. So like now I would think she's hot because,
Yeah, but back then
standards,
you're like, oh, look at that
standards
old
go
lady.
down. Yeah, exactly.
Standards go down. That's like the girl that when you go to the club, it's the girl that at 8 p.m. and the girl at 1 a.m.
We used to
Right?
say
Totally different.
Yeah, we used to say a 10 to 2, a 2 is a 10. So at 10 to 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
At number 2, a 2 like would be a 10. So like at 10 to 2, a 2 is a 10. So that's it. But anyway,
who's the comedian? George Carlin, classic line.
Yeah.
I never fucked a 10, but I fucked 5 2s.
I mean, that's simple math. Yeah, right. It's simple math.
That dude was brilliant. Were you a George Carlin fan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't really recite anything, but yeah.
Yeah,
definitely.
I grew up with him. Yeah.
And
that
in his hometown. I'm just kidding.
Oh
Just breaking your
wow!
balls.
Wow, nice.
Like in general,
Yeah.
you grew up and he was on TV and you were at your fucking shitty house.
That's exactly right. I see you got it, dude. No need to get into detail. How about Andrew Dice
I
Clay?
grew up with Dave Chappelle. If we're
Oh,
gonna
wow.
go that
Yeah,
way.
yeah, nice.
Yeah,
Man,
I actually did meet him once.
no shit.
In
Nice
Soho,
guy or
in
no?
Soho. Yeah, real cool. And my buddy was in town from Amsterdam, and he's like, "That's Dave Chappelle." I'm like, "Dude, just play it cool," And he's like, and my
Treat
buddy
him like anybody else.
Yeah, and my buddy's like, "Yo, Dave," and he's like, "Can I get a picture with you?" And Dave's like, "Sure, come on over." And he goes, "I'm from Amsterdam, man. We're huge fans." He goes, "You got any weed?"
Priorities, man. Priorities.
Exactly.
You've been to Amsterdam, right?
Yeah.
You've traveled a lot.
I wouldn't say a lot, but yeah, I've definitely traveled. I've went to Amsterdam a couple times. I've been to France, to Germany, to England. I've never made it to Asia. Actually, no, I did. I went to Thailand. Yeah, I went to Thailand.
Because did you get in a cage with a tiger?
I did get in the cage with a tiger. Yeah,
I thought we talked about that a long time ago.
That was scary. That was like
Not cool.
So we pull over on the side of the road.
This is a good story.
Yeah, so we're driving. Like, first of all, we had an awesome tour guide, very nice lady. But I mean, talk about doing too much shit in one day. Imagine going to like the down the shore and then going to Philadelphia for a fucking a Philly cheesesteak and then driving into the city
for a show or something.
for all in one day, right? After seeing the Statue of Liberty, like that's what we were fucking doing in Thailand, and we're coming back from this one forest that was supposed to have this 200-foot waterfall that was actually dried out, by the way. So
that's nice
there
to
was
look
no
at.
waterfall, right?
Fucking rock.
Yeah. So we're coming back, and I asked on the way there, I go, are there any wild animals in this forest that we should be, I'm thinking I'm like, maybe they have tigers, maybe they have bears. She goes, yes, the Bengal tiger. And that just sounded cute to me, like Bengal, and I didn't have cell phone service because we were in the middle of nowhere, Thailand. So because I wanted to look up what is a Bengal tiger. So I'm thinking like a small tiger.
Tony the tiger, bro.
Yeah, no, full-size tiger are in those
cute.
woods. So
They're cute.
we went down the trail, and I'm with like a bunch of like 40, 50, and 60-somethings. And a bunch of them can't keep up. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to go off trail and go walk around. And I did. I went way off trail and walked around and saw some shit.
That's how horror story movies start.
And then I got back to the hotel in Bangkok and I looked up Bengal tiger. I'm like, holy shit. Like,
Well,
I mean,
probably would've done that.
I definitely wouldn't have done that. I would have been standing in the middle of everyone.
Yeah.
So on the way back from that forest, on the way back to Bangkok, we pulled over literally on the side of the road to like a place that has a bunch of cages. And one of the guys, Tommy, goes, yo, anybody want to go see tigers and pet tigers? And we're like, and everyone's like, does this look safe? And he's like, come on.
So like a roadside attraction or something?
Literally, like roadside, like imagine like... I don't know.
Stopping in New York City and getting a water dog.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Right there on the fucking...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because there was more than one. But so we go in, we sit with... so I only went in with like an 8-month-old tiger, which was the size of like, I don't know, a mastiff, like 150, 160 pounds.
Eat you alive without even thinking
100%,
of it. Yeah.
But then Tommy and this other guy, Sean, went in with like the full size, like 10-foot long, like the size of this bar type of fucking tiger. And these guys got like steak, like chicken, like they're flinging chicken on the end of like a fishing pole line, and they're getting the tigers to chase it so that they could put the guys into position. So then they put my buddies into position, and like and you could just tell like these tigers just are kind of aggressive. And then the tour guide from Thailand goes, "Oh my God, what am I doing? I can't believe I let them do this." She was scared shitless. I'm standing next to her outside of the cage, and she's scared shitless.
And so the guy that's running the cage, was he like, just no big deal?
No big deal.
We do this every day.
Exactly. Like he does it every day, probably like once a week, really. But like that's probably enough money because we paid like $1,000 that day between the 8 of us. You know.
Oh shit! That's a lot of money for them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
because man,
they probably only need like one group a week or a couple groups a week to really make their money. Especially with how cheap tigers are, by the way.
Yeah, right. Yeah, nowadays it was $2,000. You could get a fucking tiger. What?
So anyway,
would they throw like a chicken?
Yeah, threw a chicken. So on a
fishing line.
Yeah, on a fishing line to like get the tiger's attention, and then they brought him back in to like sit next to my buddies.
What the?
So now they take a bunch of pictures. They like have him like lay down and they rub his belly and stuff, and like right behind him, like they're like really close. And then they get up to walk out, and they didn't see this fucking happen, but we all did. The one tiger, like, went into stealth mode, into like, I'm gonna attack to them from behind, and we all just held our breath. And one of the guys ran over and starts hitting like a garbage can and like banging the drum, and another one chucks the chicken again, and it distracted the tiger, but he definitely went into stalk mode.
Oh my God. Dude, did you get a picture of that?
I do have pictures of it. Yeah.
No shit. Yeah. Oh man. Hang on. God damn, dude. Could you imagine being there like a fucking tiger?
Yeah. Oh,
I saw. Oh, hang on. Technical difficulty here. I just want to make sure that don't go off. I saw it. I think I posted it too, where there's these 3 pro wrestlers, like WWF wrestlers, you know, big guys, and the video starts with them holding this real thick rappelling rope. You ever see the rappelling rope like out of a helicopter, like the Army and stuff use? It's kind of thick.
Yep.
The 3 of them are hanging onto it, and they're just fucking crazy, like working it, pulling on it. And then the camera follows the rope, goes through a cage, and then there's a baby tiger, baby lion,
okay,
sitting there with it in its mouth, just like fucking chilling. Like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah. Like,
can I help you?
Can't even feel it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, holy shit. And that's like it was probably 200-300 pounds.
Right.
But you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I don't think we have any idea. Some people obviously do. But like me and you sitting here, we have no idea what those things.
I don't know. Yeah. All I know is like from watching National Geographic that they could take down a water buffalo, and there's no chance I have of taking down a water buffalo. So
right. We're just a bag of fuking bones and muscles. Exactly. And we're so weak compared to that. You know,
I've seen them take down zebras, which are full size horses. You know, like, yeah. That's those are massive. Yeah, Thailand was probably one of the funnest trips because it's like insane shit, third world country, like happening everywhere. You know,
I got a guest on that moved back here from Thailand.
Yeah.
Because he moved over there as a teacher, started a gym, doing all that, having a good time, and then it got so corrupt that he couldn't afford to stay in the
good parts.
Well, not even in the good parts, anywhere.
Wow.
Because every month some official, quote unquote, would come by, you owe me this much money, you owe me this much money. He's like, dude, I'm running on such a thin line to begin with.
Yeah.
And you guys, then he moved back here, and he's just saving up. He wants to move back. He goes, it's a beautiful country, and he loves it over there. And
yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't know if I'd go back. Like I have one of these things where I think me and my wife, Michelle, we both have is like, or we've talked about it before. It's like, why visit somewhere twice?
I got the same exact thing,
you know,
dude.
It's like there's so many fucking things to see. And the only reason actually there is to visit the same thing twice is when you really just don't want to plan and you just like, you know, that was good.
Yeah.
So like, I know you've gone to Costa Rica a couple times.
Yeah.
Aruba is like the same, the DR, so fucking cheap. I've been there twice, you know?
Yeah, same thing. You know what to expect.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck it, I just want to relax for 4 days.
I got a week. Yeah, exactly. I don't want to have to, like, that's why, like, I order the same, it's not because I don't like a ton of different food, but I order the same thing at the restaurant when I go, because I just don't want to be disappointed. You know, that's the only reason to get the same thing. Otherwise, why not experience? You know, why not, go
try something different.
Yeah.
Or like, because Val, you know, she's a total foodie, right? And likes trying all this crazy shit. And I'm the same way. I just like when we go to Chinese restaurants, give me broccoli and beef, man. Just I'm happy with that, you know. And or we'll be eating. I'll be done, and I'm happy. I'm like, oh, I'm in a good spot. This was tasty. I'm in a good spot. She's like, you want to try this? I'm like, no, because I'm in a good spot.
And the last taste in your mouth type of thing too.
Yeah,
right?
and then if I try that and I don't like it, kind of ruins the whole mood.
Yeah.
You know,
or if it was much better than yours, you're like, fuck,
man, I need to have that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But going back to the never in the same place twice, we went on the Queen Mary 2 for our honeymoon. Part of
That's
our
Norwegian.
What's that?
What line is that?
White Star.
Oh, okay.
The same as the Titanic.
Oh, okay.
White Star, I think it's called.
Oh, that's right. You went from London to New York.
Southampton.
Okay,
but
yeah.
England back over. That was the last leg
that's
of our.
Awesome.
Dude, that was so much fun.
Yeah,
right.
That's really cool.
And then toward the end of the trip, of course, they're like, "Hey, how was your trip?" and doing all that. And I was like, "It's amazing. This boat is beautiful. Food was crazy good, and we had a great time." She goes, "You gonna come back?" Nope. And she kind of looked at me like all wide-eyed, like, "Oh my God!" She's like thinking I was gonna buy something again right away.
Right.
And she goes, "Why not?" I go, "None against you guys, but the world's a big place.
Yeah.
If I got another week, I'm gonna go do something else."
Yeah. Exactly.
You know.
Yep.
But we do have a spot that we like to go to. Same reason. Fuck, dude. I know exactly every step of the way.
Yep.
When I get there, what's gonna happen? It's amazing.
Yeah.
Done.
Yep.
But
I'm with you. I got a couple places I want to go to in the Caribbean yet, and then I want to go see more of Europe. I've never even been to Italy. I've never been to Spain. I think Spain would be awesome.
Spain would be cool.
You know, so there's a couple places I still want to hit, like in Europe for sure. But then I would love to go to China and Japan, which I don't think China's a good idea right now. But
right. Oh, I'd love to see China, dude.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
Yeah.
And
then
Portugal.
a South African safari would be.
I was going to ask you. You never been on a safari?
No.
I thought you were one.
No,
Maybe I was thinking
awesome.
that Thailand trip you were on a safari.
No.
Where would be your ultimate trip? Like somewhere that
I was supposed to go to the Amalfi Coast in September, but
where the fuck is that?
It's like Naples,
okay.
Italy.
Oh, okay.
But it's like I don't know, it's like the Beverly Hills or like, I don't know, what's the beach area in California. It's like a really expensive area of Italy, beach area.
Okay,
It's
got nice
the-
beaches and
yeah.
stuff. And
it's like real small town, but like everything's real high end. So we had 7 nights planned for September, but
that all kind of blew up.
yeah, so now we're talking 2021, you know.
And God knows what's going to happen then.
Exactly.
Shit, the Stave Puft Marshmallow Man will probably attack by then. Sheesh. No, I would love to go to Antarctica.
Really?
I think that would be cool.
No, that's cold, bro.
You don't like cold?
I'm okay with it, but I ain't trying to like go on vacation there. You know, if I wanted to do something like outdoorsy, which I love the outdoors, it would be like a hunt for like go do, like I see out in like the Midwest or like the Northwest, they do these hunts for like caribou or like, you know.
Yeah, sure.
That would be something.
That would be cool.
What would you do up in Antarctica? Like, what would you do up there?
I don't know. I got to check it out. But man, I would love to see it.
Like sleigh ride or?
Well, dog sled though.
Dog sled. Okay,
I definitely want to do a dog sled.
Yeah.
But like, go cruise around in one of those cats, you know, with the tracks.
Oh yeah.
You know. And,
okay. All right.
And
I'm just I automatically think blizzards and like the guys trying to get to the North Pole. Like,
oh yeah, there's that too.
Yeah.
You ever hear that guy that walked across Antarctica by himself? It took like 52 days. Colin something. I follow him on Instagram.
Really?
All by himself, pulling a sled that was like 300 pounds. And like
That's crazy.
What the fuck, right?
Yeah. I read this book, Forged in Crisis. Did we talk about that yet? Anyway, one of the stories is about these guys trying to discover the South Pole, which is pretty awesome.
When that was like in the early 1900s?
Yeah, where they had to get like ships, and it would take 9 months to get there because like they would have to get through the ice, and then they would have to try 3 years later again. Like,
and leave the boat there, and then hopefully come back, and it's still there, and all that kind of shit.
Crazy stuff.
It's like, why would you do that? But in me,
why not you take a helicopter? You know? It's like,
take a plane, dude.
Yeah, exactly. It's 1915.
But I see that, and I'm like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's that inner adventurous, right? I want to go on those adventures and do that kind of shit. But
yeah, I've slept in the cold. So we did the Long Trail a couple years back.
Long Trail.
Yeah, Long Trail's up in Vermont.
Like the brewery?
Yeah, well, the brewery's on the Long Trail.
I got a great story about the brewery, but go ahead.
Have you been to it?
Oh, yeah. It's beautiful.
Me too. Yeah,
it's
it is
beautiful.
really cool.
Yeah.
It's on the river and everything.
Yeah.
It's like a stream, but it's really cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, we went hiking, and it was April, and we thought it was going to be cool when we got up to like the peaks. It was 2 feet of snow, and we had to hike. Like we hiked 9 miles. We were going to hike 20 miles in the day. Like we had a long ass fucking day. So we started at 8 in the morning. We knew we were going to get there around 6 p.m. because we were all in pretty good shape.
Right.
But we had to hike an insane distance in 2 feet of snow. We had 2 dogs with us that were just troopers. And long story short, we got to the cabin that we were going to stay in, and there was already people there with 2 dogs that were aggressive as fuck, and so were ours. And,
shit!
So
first come, first serve, right?
Yes, and no, well, they said you could stay with us, and that's like a common thing on the long trail. And I was like, well, how are our dogs going to get along, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So we had to turn around and hike an hour and a half back.
Oh.
So, and then one of my buddies, I won't name the names, but he started having muscle like contractions or whatever, like
in his legs or something?
Yeah. So I had to hike back, drop my bag, go back, get his bag, so he could walk back without a bag.
Without a bag?
Yeah, and then we slept on a platform that night. To get to the platform, we had to. I'm giving the very abbreviated story. We chipped through inches of ice to get to the platform so that we'd actually have wood to sleep on. And then a fucking storm came through. I'm not even kidding. And we just smoked weed. So finally,
you're all fucked up and you get snowed on.
We put this big tarp up. I tie it down like a motherfucker. They put like 4 strings on it, and I just tied like 82 strings to every tree around us because I was like, what happens if it gets windy tonight or whatever? And the exact thing happened. It was thunder snow, and the tarp was fucking waving in the wind, and we had just gotten stoned. Dude, you ever cuddle with 2 men?
No.
Well, if you go to Antarctica, you just might.
Stone too, right?
Yeah, exactly. So you're like, oh, this is so weird.
What the fuck?
Yeah, dude.
Think bad thoughts. Think bad. Baseball.
Exactly.
That reminds me of so the Long Trail. Mm-hmm. So my
brewery.
The brewery.
Yeah.
See, dude, but you got a good story out of it.
Yeah.
See all that shit, dude.
No, it was awesome.
Right.
And then we went back to the next 2 years, and we had much better times because we waited an extra month, and it was drier, and it wasn't snowed.
Right. The weather up there is fucking nuts.
Yeah, exactly.
But so we stop in the Long Trail Brewery, and our table, they put us at a table, you know, and on the, I don't know, you've been there, right?
Yep.
I don't know if you remember. On the wall, they have like this shrine of some dude, and I can't remember his name. We'll say Bob, right?
Yep.
I don't fucking know what his name is. And then it's like Bob's rules of being an adventurous or whatever. And they have them written on the wall. And they got pictures of him like backcountry skiing and snowboarding and hiking and doing all sorts of crazy shit. So the waitress comes over and my wife's like, what's the deal with this? You know? And she's like, yeah, it's a local guy that, you know, he's this big adventurous and adventure guy and does all this shit. And it's like, okay, so what happened to him? Well, he died in the backcountry in an avalanche or something. Sure. Like, oh, fuck, right? I'm thinking, this is how I knew my wife was hanging around me too long.
Yeah, what'd she say?
So I was like, oh, damn, that's too bad. And without a beat, my wife looks at the waitress, goes, apparently he didn't follow his own rule number 2.
What was it?
Be safe. And I was like, oh, baby, I love you. I love you. Fucking
another round.
I'll take another round. But yeah, it was just, I mean, it's cool to see what they did and to honor him and stuff, but like she fucking zinged that across. I was like, oh, you've been hanging out with me way too long.
Now it's nice. We stayed there for, we had a bachelor party, Airbnb, only like 2 miles away from it. So we went there.
Spent a lot of time there.
We went there twice,
because there's really nothing else around there, right?
No, but we had like the cabin we had some land. So we honestly, like, half of us took shrooms, half of us took edibles. The other, you know, maybe a quarter of us took both. And we literally, one day we played Frisbee for 4 hours.
Well, when you're stoned, dude, I could totally see that.
It was really one of the best days ever.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Oh, I love Frisbee. You like Frisbee?
Yeah, why not?
Oh,
I have an ultimate Frisbee. What do you mean? It's like almost like football, ultimate Frisbee. You ever
play
that?
No, I've never played it, but I've heard of it.
Yeah.
Oh, so you set it up, you got teams. And
you get teams, and basically you get, every time you catch it, you can run 3 steps before tossing it again. So like,
so you got to keep up. Like if you throw it to me, you got to keep running.
It's closer to rugby than like football.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be fun to play.
It's really
all
fun,
over
dude.
that.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Now the disc for all you purists out there, is that like a heavy
We used to just play with whatever one we had.
Sure.
You know, I'm sure they have.
Official.
From what I understand now, they have it in college. I think they actually have college ultimate frisbee.
Okay.
From what I understand, so I'm sure there's an official one, but we just whoever
Whatever's
had a
got-
frisbee,
Yeah, just played it.
Yeah, but like a bigger, heavier one was the way you wanted to go, especially if you're out in a football field.
Yeah, good.
Because
Zing
you
it.
zing it like 30 or 40 yards.
Yeah. What frisbee golf? You ever play that?
I never have actually.
Never. I love frisbee, but that I was like,
Never
I
heard,
don't-
right?
I was like, no, I'm good.
No,
I'm good.
no, why?
I want somebody on the other end to throw it back to me.
exactly. I gotta go. It's like this is playing with myself. Like you ever play frisbee with yourself, like
Oh,
around,
that's
around a field, and you're just like kind of chasing it. Like
That guy must be practicing for frisbee golf.
it's so stupid. It's like that's why they created boomerangs so that you didn't have to play by yourself. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So some loser is like, I have no friends. I'm gonna just aim at a target, and then they.
Yeah, but they
created
could say the
frisbee,
same thing about golf, though, for real.
I guess.
Right?
That's fun.
I love golf. dude.
Yeah, and you can get in a cart.
Yeah.
I guess do they have carts for frisbee golf? I don't think so. I mean, maybe somewhere.
Yeah, so probably some of them do. How about the old pitch and putts? You ever do those?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's
Like
the only thing I really played until I was like 20.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Just out of
No,
necessity?
yeah, only because like there was one. I grew up in West Mulver, so like
That was it.
That's what we had. You know, like you could travel to like the nice suburbs of New Jersey and like probably play on a golf course, but we had one pitch and putt, and that's what we used to do. Yeah.
You still play a lot? Probably with
I'm
business
going on
too, right?
I'm going on Friday. I've played a lot in years past, but last year I only played like 8 or 9 rounds. The year before only like 15 or 20 rounds, which for some people that's a lot, but like real golfers play like 40 or 50 rounds to play once or twice a week.
Yeah, but do you go mostly for business?
Not really. I'm not. It's not like, I mean, if I get to network with someone and like get to know someone, then cool. But like, I'm not typically bringing clients. I'm typically like meeting up with another, friend.
Yeah, going out there and swinging. And man,
Yeah.
you and I have had a great time on
Yeah,
the golf course,
exactly.
dude.
Yeah,
Woo!
yeah.
Shoo.
No, I think that's the best way to do it. I mean, I don't know. I have trouble with this. I don't want to get too much into business, but the business and doing fun things because then.
Well, you think you should separate them?
I don't know. I think if you're aligned properly with the right person, then fine. But taking a customer out and just dragging yourself through something that may not be fun for you and may not be fun for them either.
Just because that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. So take them out for 4 hours of sober golfing. I mean, God forbid. That sounds terrible.
Yeah, sober golfing. I like how you put that disclaimer in there.
And let's talk about business the whole time and get to know about each other. That's so dry.
I used to people would say, "You golf?" and I'd be like, "No, but I drink and a golf game breaks out."
Yeah, exactly.
That's about God.
That's what I call fishing, day drinking.
Day drinking?
Yeah, I'm so bad at fishing. My brother can go and catch anything, but I throw that same fucking bait in the water right next to his. And I don't get anything, and he's banging them out. He's and I'm just sitting there pissed off, drinking beers.
I never was a fisherman.
No,
I just never got the urge to sit there.
Hope you catch something.
Right. I mean, I think through high school and a little after high school, I went fishing, quote unquote, especially catfishing, right, at night.
Yep.
And you take a 6-pack and a girl with you, and that's the reason I'm going fishing, but she's going to go with me.
Yeah, that was
your cover story.
Yeah, that was most of my dates with my wife before I married her.
Fishing?
Yeah, fishing, catfishing. Yeah.
Catfishing at night, right?
Yeah, just bring a pack of hot dogs, a 12-pack of beer, and go hang out at a dock.
Toss it in there and leave it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And wait until the bullpen.
Did you set them at different?
Bull bends. Yeah.
Did you set them at different heights?
No,
did you do that?
No, that's pretty cool though.
Yeah, because the reservoir where I grew up, it was so fucking deep.
Right. That
so
makes
we
sense.
would every couple feet you would set a new one.
We used to go right at University of Tampa. There was a dock on the river right on the Bay of Tampa, and you would catch saltwater catfish and freshwater catfish at the same time.
No shit, because it's mixed right there.
Because it's mixed right there, and so you get half of them come out with those spikes, which means they're the saltwater catfish, and half of them didn't have it. Meaning they were freshwater catfish. But if you went there at dusk any night, I'm talking 20 catfish. Like we would throw them all back. I wouldn't keep any.
Yeah, they're really not good eating.
Yeah, I've had it once or twice. It's not like that special. But
No.
they're definitely ugly looking fish too. So like if I'm gonna eat it, like prepare it for me first because I don't want to.
I don't want to look at that.
Yeah, I don't want to be cutting this like piece of poop's head off. You know.
Yeah. Their big flat face.
Yeah,
and mouth
ugly
and
looking. We actually had a catfish as a fish in a fish tank when we were kids.
Really?
Yeah, we caught one like on
a little. Was it little?
He was little at the time, and then he got to like 8 inches long, and he would eat goldfish like you wouldn't believe.
No shit.
He died eating too many goldfish. I'm not even kidding.
Gluttony.
Gluttony. It's one of the fucking deadly
My catfish
sins.
died of gluttony.
His stomach was so big, I swear to God, he just rolled upside down and died. And we had him for like a year and a half, and he got big as fuck really quick.
No shit.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah,
True
catfish, they're scoundrels. I mean, they just
they would eat whatever they can get.
anything.
Yeah. Including hot dogs.
Oh, wow. Then I was like, fuck this. And we got a flat bottom boat with like half a stick of dynamite, got in the water.
Did you really do that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's like a movie type of shit. Does it work?
Dude, yeah.
Does it really?
Yeah, it works really good.
That's so awesome. I always wanted to do that.
The problem you have, though, is if shit goes wrong
Yeah.
and you just get that thing off,
Oh, shit.
dude, it rocks the boat and you fucking don't hear nothing for 2 days.
Oh,
and,
no.
Yeah. So, like, you light it and you got to, like movie style, like grenade, chuck that fucking thing and boom.
And you're talking fish are floating up.
And then fish float up and you pick what you want and then eventually they wake up and go away. Yeah. I don't recommend.
So you think it just stuns them?
Yeah, it's like exactly right. It would be like somebody knocking you out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then
it's like a flash grenade or something.
Yeah, and then you wake up and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Right?
Interesting.
I don't recommend it at all.
Shit, yeah.
Oh, totally redneck shit, dude. Well, that's how I learned to drive with a lot car.
What's that?
Do you know what a lot car is?
No.
Oh, geez, we're going big redneck now.
What's that?
So, my buddy, his dad had a big farm way up in the hills, right? And back then, people would get rid of their cars, and they were still in pretty good shape.
Okay.
Right? So they would either junk them or give them to us, and no plates, there was nothing with them. And we just fucking drive around the woods in the back lot and just smash them up and do all that kind of shit with them. And we had this big fucking Buick, huge, land yacht.
Yeah.
Just huge.
Sedan or wagon?
Sedan.
Yeah.
Right? And we smashed it up so bad. Oh, first of all, the guy goes, careful, because the brake line is just rubber hose. Because I had to fix it, and I knew I was getting rid of the car. So, of course, the first thing we do...
Rip the brake line. Brake line rips off.
Fucking both hands on the steering wheel, both feet on the brakes. Boom! Blow the brakes, At least now I know what I'm dealing with,
right.
So to stop it, you would go reverse drive, reverse drive, reverse drive.
Oh, my God, dude.
Dude, it's fucking great. Gets even better. So we smash this thing up, and the gas tank falls out.
Yeah.
Right? Because we back into things and the fucking trunk's all smashed up, right?
Is this 1 day, 1 week, 1 month?
1 or 2 days.
Yeah.
Because you go full throttle, dude.
Right,
you get it. You're like, I ain't sitting around, dude. We're going to smash this thing up. So we're like, all right. So we take a 5-gallon gas can and we put it in the back seat and we use bale twine, fucking strap it in there all tight, put the seatbelt on it, run a hose around under the front seat up through the firewall. Super safe. So that's what the gas tank was, right? Since it fell off. Now, outside his house, the road itself was a big valley, right? So you had the top of the hill, you come down, and it swooped back up to the top. So we would start at one end, go like hell down, get to the bottom, slam that fucker in reverse, and the momentum would carry us up the hill while the tires were smoking. And then we get to the top, and then it would start to fucking go really fast backwards. And as soon as we got to the bottom, slam it and fucking drive, and it'd carry us up. And we were going roop, 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 up and down this hill. Of course, fucking black marks everywhere, smoke everywhere, And to make things fun, you ever put bleach on it? You ever do that?
On what?
Your tire.
No.
Do you know how they get that pillow?
Yeah, that's from bleach on the tires?
You put bleach on tires, so when it heats up, it fucking...
Yeah.
So we put bleach on it just to fucking...
That's awesome.
Make smoke, right? So we're pulling into his dad's place, and I'm driving. There's a cop car behind us.
Yep.
And, of course, to look at this thing, dude, we spray painted it and made it all fucked up, right? And I was like, shit. So I pull in the driveway and I'm like, fuck, I can't stop this thing. And I'm trying to, so I just bumped it up against a tree.
Yeah.
So the cop comes and he's like, we're having some complaints about some road noise. And we're like, I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, you boys take this thing on the street? No, man, you just saw me on the street because I'm coming from the bottom driveway up here. That's why we just circle around. And I'm like, dude, if you look out on the road, there's just piles of rubber.
Stole the smoke disappearing.
Oh yeah. It was, dude. That was fun times, man.
I had a Pontiac Grand Am in college. Cost $1,000, and I always had these shit cars. I had a Nissan Sentra too. That was
they take a beating.
Yeah, and anyway, the Pontiac. My friend lived in this little apartment complex, and it was like. There was this one bridge that went over like this 6-foot stream. So the bridge kind of went up and it went down. So it made a perfect fucking ramp.
Oh, yeah, of course.
It made a perfect ramp. So like I would always, every time I'd go pick them up, I'd like hit it at like 20 miles an hour. I go, roop, roop, like kind of like, like perfectly, right? So I never did it with him in the car because I knew he'd think he was too much fun. And I was right. So one night we came home after a couple drinks and he's like, holy shit, that was awesome. He's like, we should hit it really fast. And I'm like, nah, bro, no, I don't want to mess the car. He's like, come on, let's do it. Dude, that was so perfect. You'll be fine. So we turn around and we're like 100 yards away. We're not even, we're like 100 feet away. And he's like, go ahead. And I'm like, and I hit it. And he's like, gun it. So now, like, of course, pure pressure.
Oh, yeah,
I got the pedal to like the floor, like, and we're going about 50 miles an hour in a parking lot towards a bridge. And when we hit it, dude, it was one of those things like I'll never forget the nose going up and then
the ass end comes way up.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and then the ass end came up. The nose went down because the engine, it was only a 6-cylinder, was all in the front, and it fucking crashed into the ground. And we had a keg. We had a keg in the back seat. Dude, my ass hurt so bad because we hit so hard. Like my ass hit like the metal through the cushions into
of course.
Like my whole entire like body hurt from like the whole entire jarring. The keg was bouncing around in the back seat.
It's fucking great, dude.
And of course like everything seemed normal, so we're like, yeah, like,
do it again.
So I turn around, I go and I drop him off, and I walked through the door. We had a cigarette, and I come back and I pull out of the parking spot, and there was like a huge puddle of oil. Yeah, it looked like like when like a dead body, like the blood, like in a like in a murder movie. Like this is like my car had died. Like I was just so sad. So I had to sleep on his couch. And then here's the thing.
What it do? What damage did
it broke the oil pan.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it wasn't too bad. It was about $400 fix, but like I just had enough money to live in my apartment and to feed myself.
$400, a lot of money at that point.
Yeah, so I had it. That was like one of those things you have to call your dad, and you're like, damn it, like you're supposed to be independent, but you're not, And I call him, and I'm like, Dad, I hit a big rock. And he's like, what? I'm like, I hit a big rock in my car. I wasn't paying attention. It banged up and down underneath it and broke the oil pan. He's like, how much? I'm like, $400. He's like, all right, Nick, I'll take care of it. So the fun part was telling him like 10 years later.
Yeah. What'd he say to you, motherfucker?
Yeah,
I knew it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Of course he knew. Like, I hit a rock.
Yeah, I rolled over a rock.
Yeah, like you didn't see a fucking huge rock.
You ever see a Renault?
Yeah.
It's like the little 4-door car.
Yep.
Same buddy of mine, up on the farm. Mm-hmm. He had one of these. Now we got our driver's license, right? So we're, got cars. And he had a stereo system in this fucking thing that when you pulled to the stoplight, you had to like put your foot on the gas, because if it was idle, the stereo was drawing so much power it'd stall the car.
That's awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
So we're coming down towards where I used to live, and there was like a sweeping hill, like a snake back, where it goes up and down. Class, and this what made your little story reminded me of that, because we'd
Yep.
And one day, same thing, we're fucking hauling ass, like DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince is fucking booming in the thing,
I love it.
And he's like, we're gonna hit this fucking thing. I'm like, yeah. And I'm in the passenger seat, right? So we launch off it, and as we launch, the car starts to fade to one side. to where I'm in the passenger seat and I'm like cranking my head to the right, looking out the passenger seat, and we're coming down to the ground, and I'm like,
Sideways.
this is not going to fucking turn out well. And it was like everything slowed down.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
It's like, whoa.
I know that.
Dude,
feeling.
we fucking hit, and it goes, we bounced all the way, and it's his speakers and all that shit fucking all crazy, and we're like, and he slams the brakes, and he's like, I can't believe we just fucking survived that. And I was like, holy shit, dude, I don't, and then you're just so high on adrenaline at that point.
Yep, exactly.
And then you're like, let's do it again.
Yeah.
Fuck no, dude.
No.
And then every time we come over that hill again, we're like, slow down, dude.
Exactly. Go away with it once. I know.
Now, you ever hear of winter rat?
No,
You ever hear that phrase?
No.
So like I grew up in upstate New York where the winters are shit. So if you got a nice car, in the winter you would store it and you would go buy $400 car.
Right. I call it my snowmobile.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same. So I got this station wagon. What the fuck was it? I just remember had the Super 6 because you look at the motor and it's a Super 6 and an inline 6. What the fuck? I can't remember the name of it. Green, right? Very first day I get it, a lady runs a stop sign, smashes into the front wheel, and it had double A-frame suspension.
Yeah.
And it broke the top A-frame. So the wheel tilted in.
Kind of collapsing in, yeah.
I was like, fuck, man, I don't want to put enough money in this thing. It's just got to last me like 3 months.
Yeah, right.
So we take it to the shop, my buddy's shop. And I remember putting a pump jack against the motor. So I'm cranking it, and it pushes the wheel out. We jam a bar in there, wrap some chain around it, and put a padlock on it so it wouldn't go anywhere.
A padlock.
And we're like, yeah, that'll work. I drove that thing for like 4 months, right?
Amazing.
And it was getting to almost to spring.
Right.
But the inspection was coming up.
Right.
I'm like, fucking no way.
When they actually inspected
things.
things.
Back then, right. I'm like, there's no fucking way this thing's going to pass inspection,
right.
So what do we do? We get a demolition saw, the circular ones.
Yeah.
We cut the roof off it. It's a station wagon, right? So we go across the windshield, cut the post, we roll the windows down, cut the post off, and we pick the whole top off. Yeah. So now imagine a station wagon with no top. And then,
how does this make it better?
I don't know. This is what I'm trying to. You're the voice of reason, dude, right? So I drove that in the winter for like 2 months.
Yeah.
Right? A little less than 2 months. I remember coming out of my house and the whole thing filled with snow.
Yeah.
Right? So I would scoop out the driver's side, scoop out the pedals and do all that. It'd start right up like nothing, because I would blast the heat and I'd be in a fucking coat and a ski mask and
Wait, I totally.
And I would drive down the road, dude, snowing and everything. I'd fucking drive it to work.
I missed why that makes it better for inspection.
Oh, that part. Oh, yeah.
Or does that? It had nothing really to do with inspection.
No, because we're like, it ain't going to pass us, so let's just fuck it up more.
Obviously.
And wouldn't it be cool to have a convertible, station wagon?
Okay,
right?
Yeah.
So
of
I remember driving.
Awesome.
Yeah, the looks we got, dude.
Oh, it's awesome. Now, did you cut down the A pillars or B pillars? I mean, like the back pillars.
There was nothing.
There was nothing
from the windshield back.
Yeah,
and you had to do Dukes of Hazzard style.
Yeah, you had to jump in.
Because if you open the door, the fucking thing will fold in half, right? Because it's the only thing holding it together. Right. And I just remember and I don't know why this was so funny at the time. The light was rear gate ajar.
Right.
I'm like, okay. Yeah. I don't know why that was funny at the time. But like, hey, gates open, dude.
Gates open.
No shit, you think? Yeah, we used to have a lot of fun with cars, man. Yeah. I fucking love cars.
Me too.
Right?
Yeah.
You got a convertible now.
Yeah, I do got a convertible now. Yeah.
Is that a midlife crisis thing?
I don't know. People ask me that. I just feel like, I guess I'm getting close to midlife crisis. No, I feel like I'm going to break 80. Like I'm 38, so I'm dying at 76. I find it very morbid when people ask me that.
Okay, so I got two things. A midlife crisis, I heard a comedian say this. I'm not taking credit for it, but I thought it was funnier than shit. If you think you're going through a midlife crisis, you know how you figure it out? Multiply your age, double your age.
Yeah.
And if you die and it's not a crisis, or it's not a tragedy, you're at a midlife crisis. so if you're 40
and you
double it, and you die, and the people are like, he lived a good life. So you're in a midlife crisis, dude.
Okay, so self-admittedly then, so we want to go there. So
well, no, real quick though. Then the other thing a guy said, He don't think it's a mid, because I got another buddy that just bought this fucking awesome Mercedes convertible. It's beautiful, right? And somebody said the same thing. He goes, no, I don't think it's a midlife crisis. I think you can finally afford it and appreciate it by that time in your life. And I was like, stretching it a little bit, but I can see your point.
No, I mean, that's totally.
Because you're not going to own that at 22.
No, you
well,
can't.
most people.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I mean, maybe you can, but
buy it on credit.
Yeah,
do all,
exactly.
Right,
yeah.
Normally, you would.
Yeah. So I got a 6-speed V10 convertible. My girls wanted a convertible. I wanted something fast as fuck, and then it was faster than my last car, and that's where I ended up. But I also didn't want to pay like $1,000 a month in like a lease. So I got a used car.
There's nothing wrong with it. I'd buy a used car before I bought a new one, I think.
You get it for half price with like 20,000 miles on it.
It's brand new.
Yeah.
20,000.
Exactly.
Unless it's you driving that 20,000.
So
Just saying.
my worst, so there was 2 times that I actually had like crises. And one of them, I had never heard this term before, but someone told me about a quarter life crisis.
Wow.
So one time I drink shroom tea with my buddies, and I was 24, about to turn 25. I was like a month away. And I'm like, Nick, you are way too mature to be shrooming anymore. Like, you shouldn't be tripping anymore. And like, that was
at
what
24.
Yeah. And well, because I was having a bad trip. So,
Okay, I'll give you that.
And I had to talk myself out of that.
So was the dragon on the
On the wall?
No, the dragon on the refrigerator telling you this, or were you telling yourself? Nick, listen, bro.
And this was at the time of what's that fucking movie with? Anyway, I'm not going to try to figure out this movie. So the other time I had it, and this was like, both of them were minutes long, because I'm definitely like an up and down person, and the downs are very, very short. But
they're down. They're down.
They're down. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the other one was, you're 36. I'm like, damn, it's been 15 years since I was 21. I'm like, you're 36. Damn, in 15 years you'll be 51. I'm like, fuck. No, because the 15 years from 21 to 36 were like a second.
Yeah.
They took like 2 seconds.
Yeah, but it's going to take 2 seconds again
To get to 51, you know?
Yeah,
and I was like,
for sure.
shit. So that fucked me out for a little bit. I was like, you got to get over that, bro. This is just how life goes, you know?
Yeah. Did you ever have a birthday to where it like hit you hard? Like you're like, fuck, I'm this age and where am I at with my life and that kind of thing? No, you never had that?
No.
30, for some reason, when
30
I
was
turned
bad for
30, I was just like, somebody kicked me in the nuts. And for like a month.
Yeah.
Like as soon as the pain would start to subside, somebody else would kick me in the nuts.
I think the nice thing about like the modern media and like just the world is like they're getting nicer and nicer about being old. So like 30s are now like still pretty cool.
Yeah,
and now like, and if you ask 20 something, they're like, no, 30s aren't cool.
Okay,
but,
so
but
wait
like,
a minute.
40s, like you still could be cool supposedly in your 40s, but I mean, I don't know. You're in your 40s, so you prove it wrong.
Dude, you went all that way for that punchline. I'll give you that. All right. I'll give you the commitment, dude. I'll give you the commitment. I'm sitting there like, okay, something's coming. Something's coming. What I was going to say is you think 35's cool, dude. Go up here on fucking South Street on Friday night and see how cool you are at 35.
Oh,
fucking,
exactly, dude.
Oh,
that's rough.
Still fucking shame you right out
I
of
know.
there.
I know.
Yeah.
Especially when you can't wear a baseball cap in.
And you see the fucking ding.
Yeah, exactly.
Just shining off the head, right?
They don't even check your like ID. They're just like, yeah, come on, old man.
No, they see your Blockbuster card still in your wallet.
Yeah, exactly.
Blockbuster video card, and they're like, "Oh, dude, you're fucking
you're
old
fine.
enough. Bro. You got one of those." I don't know, man. There was something about going on Friday night searching for a video, right?
I used to love that, bro.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, yep.
Fuck.
We said, so the crazy thing is, you didn't have that many choices, but you would judge the book by its cover. Totally, be like,
Oh,
that's
100%.
a cool title, and look at these two people in it. Like, oh, this is gonna be a nice romantic comedy. Maybe I'll get some tonight. Like,
Oh, so you're a romantic comedy? I
well,
get you, dude.
I mean, if you're with your girl, you're like, this
Oh,
one,
all right.
like,
Good
bang.
cover.
Yeah. I said you might get some today. Anyway, so not going backwards. So moving forward, I'm just saying that there wasn't many choices back then.
No.
Like, and now we have so many choices. And dude, I spend an hour on Netflix, and I'm like, fuck, I can't find anything.
I wonder what's on Amazon. Then you go over to Amazon and you spend shit fucking.
And then you go on the on demand on your cable app, and you're like, you
Trying
can't
to
find. Yeah, but Blockbuster, you're like, well, you only have so many choices. So you're like, fuck it. If I want 2 videos, then I just have to make some choices. Yeah. And here's the thing. I don't know if you do this. I don't watch. People still commit to movies. If I don't like it, like 30 or 40 minutes in, I bail.
But, yeah. No, I do that now. I never used to do that. I would
No,
commit
with the
and watch it.
Blockbuster, yeah, with the Blockbuster, I would commit.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, because I paid $3 for it, and I'm going to pay like $1.50 every day that I don't return it for the next 4 weeks.
Because you forget about it. You're like, put it by the door. I'm like, I'll get it.
It's in your trunk, and you're like, I just really want to get home and get high right now.
Yeah.
I'll pay $1.50 today.
Yeah, $1.50 is not bad. And a week later, you're like, fuck, it's like $8.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you go to rent something, you forget about it. You go to rent, and they're like, hey, you still have this out. And you're like, fuck.
Yeah, no, it's all good. They're like, do you want to pay for it yet? And like, did you ever buy them? I had to buy at least like 10 or 11.
Oh, no, I never got to the point where I had to buy it.
Like $39 when they started, and then by the time like Blockbuster was going out of business, it was like $59. So if you
buy it?
Yeah.
So it's so late, or you lost it,
or whatever.
You left it on the dash, and it
you
got all hot.
or you put it in the trunk, and now like you have no clue where it lives, like because you can't find it in your trunk,
right?
Because your trunk has a ton of shit in it.
Yep.
That was.
No, mine too, man. You couldn't find anything in the trunk.
Exactly. Especially a little DVD box.
DVD, dude. I'm going back to VHS.
VHS. Hey, listen, man. We already said we're different ages.
No, but that's the thing now. Like, there's so much with. We'll just stick with Netflix alone.
Yeah,
dude. Everything's
so much.
Holy fuck, dude. Then you're like, no, I don't like this. People are like, oh, you gotta get to the 4th episode. No, dude, I ain't got that kind of time. If it didn't catch me within the first episode, I'm out. Yeah. What are you watching nowadays? You got anything you're hooked to?
So I'm off this week, right? And I'm fixing up this rental property that I'm going to sell. But yesterday,
that's a beautiful spot, dude. I was telling Val about it.
Thank you.
Yeah, it ain't gonna last long.
Yeah,
dude.
it's coming out so nice. You should see the bathroom. It's coming out really good. But I got up at 5 a.m. yesterday. I don't know why. It's just because fucking that's how the body works anymore.
Yeah.
And I went from 5 o'clock, really like 5:30 after I made coffee and stuff, to about 9:30. So I put like 4 hours in, like square in the morning, like.
At the rental property.
Yeah, at the rental property. And I was like, dude, it's your fucking vacation. You've been working hard. And I worked Saturday and Sunday as well. So this was Tuesday. I was like, you should just fucking chill and just watch some TV. And I'm like, I'm like, what does that feel like? You know?
Wait, nobody's asking me to do something.
So long story long is I watched Alone yesterday because I was all alone because my family's down in Myrtle Beach. It's like people go out into the wilderness and they have to film themselves, so there's no crews.
Oh, I did see the cover. I didn't.
Yeah, and I just literally I dozed off a couple times. I watched
those are the best kind.
I watched like 8 hours of Alone. I ordered Uber Eats yesterday.
I don't know. Went all out.
I don't know the last time I sat on my couch for more than 3 hours. I sat on my couch for 8 hours.
Good for you, dude. That's
and it was
awesome.
Awesome. So Alone, it was good enough where I was like, I want to see which motherfucker lasts the longest. You know, I was like, it's good. And I also wanted to be outside because that's who I am, but I wanted my body to get some rest. So this was my way of experiencing it without having to actually do it and just sit on my couch
and watch other people dramatize it with it.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, where are they in different parts of the world and stuff?
So this was season 6. This is the only time I ever watched it. And they were in. It wasn't the Antarctica, but it was like Alaska type of area. It was way up there. And last season I looked it up was in like Mongolia, and the season before was somewhere else. So, but yeah, they're all in the same area. But it's like thousands of acres, so they drop them off in different spots.
So they take a group of people,
10 of them,
and
everyone's got their own 500 acres, so they're not crossing.
And they're
paths.
alone though.
Yeah, they're
100% alone.
100% alone. By day 25, I think it's the first check so they have those
emergency stuff,
right? Where they can tap out.
Right,
so they can tap out and then they come and get them. But the first check in, they come and check in because these people get crazy. And they check in with doctors and see how they're doing. And I think 4 of the final 5 people actually had to be removed because their body fat and BMI was way too low,
and
they're
fucking starving.
They're risking organ failure, but it's for $500,000. So if you stay out there the longest, and we're talking now they're at day 70. So between day 70 and day 80, 4 out of 5, last 5
dropped out.
Had to go and actually one of them. It was down to the final 2. I'm giving away. I don't give a fuck who's going to watch it anyway. Who's going to watch 9 hours of a fucking wilderness show besides me? So this guy fucking burns down his own cabin, dude. And he was crushing it. This dude could catch fish through 8 inches of Arctic ice.
What, he go fucking nuts?
Yeah. He just was fucking cooking some fish one night inside his cabin
And burned his cabin down?
and burned his cabin down, and he had to tap out, and he lost $500,000.
How many people were left at that
It
point?
was just him and one other dude.
Oh my God.
Could you imagine? And he was crushing it. Like, I mean, this would have lasted to day 100 because they both were doing good.
So is
But
there a
he
limit though? Do they say at day 100 or they just go until
Oh, it would just until someone has to tap. I mean, I'd imagine if they make it to spring, then we're going to talk about it like a 1.5 year long season.
Yeah.
Because they set you up in fall. So you get a little bit like used to it, but
Right,
you're only a
right.
few weeks away from winter. And
Right.
you can do
Get
some
set up.
hunting, get
Yeah.
set up, but winter's coming soon.
Now, would you do that?
I thought about it a lot yesterday. I think we talked about this the other day. I'm an extrovert. I think it would be so painful for me to like not have human communication. Could you imagine being by yourself for 30 days? Like I'm driving home. I know this sounds needy as fuck, but I'm driving home from like the rental property after working for 3 hours and I haven't talked to anyone. I'm like, I'm going to call the wife. Oh, she didn't pick up. Oh, I'm going to call my buddy.
Oh, dude, I do that all day.
I'm like, so I couldn't, listen, if you put $500,000 in front of me, I would do it.
But the other thing though is,
I don't know. It would be hard for me from a personal, like I like people around me type of thing.
no, I agree. I'm the same way,
Yeah.
right? But do you think that you are concentrating so hard just to survive that consumes 100% of your energy, time, and then when you go to bed, you're just so fucking tired.
You're exhausted. I think they if you watch it, they set themselves up like there's a lot of free time. If you ever go camping, and I know like
that's the whole point of camping is to hang out,
hang out, do nothing, right? Like, of course you get to bring your food, but these guys, like one guy shot a moose.
Oh, he's good for what? 3 weeks, 4 weeks?
Yeah, like 3 months. No, but like really, like it turns out, by the way, you can starve on a moose because they don't have enough body fat, just too much protein. But this other guy was catching like 20-pound salmon. So like
nice fat there.
Yeah. So like he had a week and a half of food. So like, like you get to the point where you don't have to go too crazy. Like you got this good rhythm. So you got a lot of time to like twiddle your thumbs. I don't know. That's a lot of twiddling, man.
Yeah. But then you just think
Antarctica.
then you're like $500,000.
Yeah.
But how about this? Now, before the whole lockdown bullshit happened, there was all these memes out there like, can you stay in this cabin for a year? No Facebook, no text.
Apparently nobody can.
Yeah, because people are like, absolutely, yes, I can. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're
45 days in.
A month in, you're fucking going crazy. Oh, yeah, you can stay there. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah. But cars, though, if you dream car.
I don't know. I mean,
or dream vehicle. It might not have to be a car, but like
I'll just do what I would want next. My Camaro SS was like, to me, was cool. Like that was like one of my dream cars. I always wanted that fucking car. This BMW M6, like I always wanted an M6. When that car first came out, I was like, I want that car. And sure, I got it 10 years used with 35,000 miles on it, but
still the same car.
Yeah, still a V10 with 550 horsepower, and I'm loving it to death. What would I get next? I definitely want something like big, and I might just do it to my own pickup truck. Like mine don't need to be expensive. Like I wouldn't go, just to answer your question, I wouldn't go like Lamborghini.
No, I'm not. I'm a muscle guy. I'm not a exotic car.
I mean, if I could go back, I'd go 69 Camaro. Like I definitely would put one of those in my garage. Yeah. I'm gonna park this one. I fucked up with that last Camaro. I should have parked it and paid it off, and because I would like to, start a small collection. But I'm kind of in the mood for something like I know I can like travel anywhere with. So my pickup truck's a little bit long. So I think like really the Wranglers, the 4-door Wranglers are pretty sweet, and just like
pickup Wrangler.
No, Jeep Wrangler.
Oh yeah.
Just a 4-door Wrangler.
Oh,
just 3-inch lift, 35-inch tires. Cold a day,
Yep, I had one of those back Colorado, man. Loved it.
Yeah,
loved it.
I mean, they're tough to like commute in.
Yeah, they're not the most comfortable thing to drive around.
But
in.
I mean, when you get them in the woods, you just realize what they're made for.
Yeah, absolutely.
And anything else, you take a Blazer out there with them. You take a pickup truck out there with them. Like you try to take anything out there with a Jeep, and the Jeep will make it look silly.
Yeah, and a stock Jeep. Take a Jeep just off the lot with the stock tires and everything. And it's amazing where that thing will
anywhere.
go.
Yeah. I had a Jeep Cherokee, like a 99 Jeep Cherokee with that straight 6-cylinder. And I took it with a bunch of guys and their Wranglers. So the Cherokee is the smaller one, not the Grand Cherokee.
Yep.
And I didn't even have a suspension lift on it yet. So it's like riding low because this is like 2007, 2008. It was already 10 years old. And dude, I got everywhere with that thing. And we were going over huge rocks. And I had to be careful and use a little skill. But everyone was like impressed how this stock Jeep, 10 years old with 100,000 miles, just made it everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. I had a Wrangler with 4-cylinder in it.
Yeah.
And I had 3.
Thing must have fucking cried carrying you around.
Oh, dude. Fuck. Wait till I tell you what I did to it, though.
Yeah.
So 3-inch Pro Comp lift with 33-inch tires.
Yeah. Oh,
dude.
Probably looks sick.
Oh, it was so fucking. God, I love that Jeep, dude. And then, was Memorial Day is the first day or Labor Day? No.
Memorial Day is the first one. Yeah, that one's in May. Yeah.
So Memorial Day, I would.
I think by your 40s, you could figure this out.
Yeah, you think, right? I've got Jeep on my mind. So I would take so what I did was I pulled all the seats out and I painted the inside tub with that truck bed liner stuff.
Yeah.
And I punched a bunch of holes in it, put the seats back in it. And then Memorial Day, I would take the top and doors off it and wouldn't put them back on until Labor Day. And I had a Border Collie. I put her in the back because I take the back seat out.
Yeah.
So we'd bomb around in that.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
That's
fucking
the best,
love. Oh, man, I love that Jeep.
I
was
swear
so
to God,
much fun.
I never felt like myself until I actually owned a Jeep. I'm like, this is what it feels like to be in a car you really like.
Really like.
Yeah, you really like and you identify with, right?
Right.
Because up until then,
it fit my personality too.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Up until then, like I owned, like I said, the Nissan Sentra, the Grand Am. I owned a Cadillac Coupe de Ville. Like I owned like all these. Like I owned a TSX. Yeah, I think TSX.
Oh, okay.
TSL, Acura TSL.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, it's like a 45-year-old car, 45-year-old man's car, and I was 25 at the time. You know, it just wasn't.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know. It just,
same here.
You know,
Up until I had my Jeep, I was
when
like,
I got into that Jeep, I was like, this feels cool,
dude.
You know?
One thing, I got a smoking deal on a Astro van.
Oh no!
I was like 24 years old, dude, driving around in an Astro van. Oh my God, my buddies loved it because we could haul everybody in and had all my gear in it and all that for all the sports I was playing and stuff. But dude, I love that car or that truck too, van, whatever you call it. But
my pops gave us Vanagon, Volkswagen Vanagon.
So
it's a van and it's like 8-passenger Volkswagen van.
Oh, okay.
And yeah,
same type of thing.
Yeah, when you can get like 8 people, 8 of your friends, and
that's not much trouble, dude.
Yeah, and this one, your friends could like you could face each other.
Oh Jesus!
Instead
Christ,
of like
dude.
being backs to back, this is like the two like captain seats in the back were turned around, so those people would be traveling backwards. So like, and it had a card table that would pop up. And we used to literally play cards or go into the city. Like, I mean, we used to do the funnest things.
Oh yeah, yeah. But the thing is that the Jeep was, I don't know, in my right now in my life, a Jeep just. It would have to be a second or third vehicle.
Right, exactly.
You know, you can't use that my opinion is you don't use that to
commute and
no. You see some of these people drive around in these Jeeps, I'm like, dude, you waxing that thing up and dude, that's not what a Jeep's for.
No, exactly.
That thing should have dents and scratches in it.
Exactly, yep.
One thing I did with it, I had tubular bumpers. I put tubular bumpers on the front and back. Had my buddy weld them, seal them up. And then I put air fitting hoses on them.
What's that?
Like, so then before we'd go Jeeping for the day, I would get gas, right? Then I would go over to the air pump and fill my bumpers with air. I would pressurize them. So now I have air in case I blow a tire.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That really work?
Yeah. It was
that's
fucking
awesome.
cool as shit, dude.
I love that.
So it's just it's an air tank. So imagine just taking, you can get like a Harbor Freight. You can get like a 5-gallon air tank and you fill it to pressurize it. Same type of thing.
That's awesome. I like that idea.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. And then on the roll bar, I took a big piece of PVC pipe, 6 inches or something, and then I had a bikini top that goes just over the driver's side or just over the front seats. I'd roll that up and slide it in that tube, so it was 100% convertible until you run into a little rain or sun or something, right? You want to put the bikini top on, boop, put that on, and I had that thing set up pretty sweet.
Oh,
dude.
that's cool.
Yeah, that was a fun Jeep. But
what year was that?
95.
Yeah.
So it was the square headlight.
Yep.
And then I had the full roll bar.
Yep.
It didn't go angle behind the driver's side. It went all the way down
Yep.
to the back of the thing. And I think it was called Tough Box.
Okay.
I think was the brand name. So you know, when you open the tailgate of a Wrangler, there's that little space. You got the wheel wells, right?
Yeah.
You got that space.
Yeah.
Tough Box made a piece that would sit in there. So when you shut the tailgate, it was like a little trunk,
Yep.
right? So I got that, and then I got a center console where you bolt it to the frame. You drill down through and you bolt it to the frame and had a big lock on it and all that. This was back when your stereo had a face that disconnected.
Yeah.
You know, it just wasn't an input.
You didn't want someone to steal it.
Right.
You had to take it into the mall with you.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, oh shit, dude. I won an ugly stereo contest with that. So I had
hard
what
to
the
do.
fuck was that, right? I remember we were driving around, this girl I was seeing, and I had this stereo in it, and it was a CD player, and it would work without the face. Right?
Yeah.
So you could take the face off and the music would still come and doing all that.
Yeah.
And it was like sticking out a little bit, and the colors were weird. It was, it was fucking cheap. We're driving around, and this was back when like DJs were on the radio, and they're like, "Hey, we're at Best Buy Day, and come on down, and you can get all these deals. And by the way, we're having an ugly stereo contest."
Right.
And the girlfriend at the time, she's like, "We should enter this thing. Look at it." And I'm like, "It's only a few minutes away. All right." So we pull over and we go in there, and he's like, "What are you going to do?" And I'm like, "This." And he's like, "What the fuck is that?" "That's my stereo, dude." And he's like, "All right." So I end up winning this thing. So I win a brand new...
A new one?
a brand new Blaupunk. They installed it and everything. Remote control.
Wow.
Fucking... And then the face came off it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, I won the whole fucking deal, dude.
Fancy.
I don't know what... And I'm like, okay. But that's...
Times are different, man.
Oh, my God. Remember the DJs? Like, you'd listen to them in the morning?
Yeah, hell yeah.
On the way to...
I actually was listening to Hot 97 this morning. And I was like, wow, I haven't listened to Hot 97 in I don't know how long.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah. You wouldn't.
What kind of music they play?
It's rap. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, that's not my genre. No.
I mean, the only other station in New York that still has morning DJs is Z100, I think. I don't think really anyone else.
I saw a billboard. I see a billboard on my route over in Newark for that.
Yeah, for Z100.
Or Jersey City.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, I don't know. That's
Who's
like,
the artist?
My wife will listen to that.
Who's the artist? Looks like a kind of younger dude, and he's got tattoos on his face. He's on the billboard for Z100.
The guy that just like snitched on everyone?
Okay.
Is it say 6ix9ine on his face?
No, not that guy. I've seen memes with that.
Yeah.
Those are pretty good, though. Those memes. People's meme game have stood up.
I know.
Or stepped up.
I know. It's interesting because I went through this thing with memes where I was like, they're funny. And I'm like, then I thought like for like 4 or 5 months, I'm like, they're corny. I'm like, why do you think they're corny? And like I had this whole entire inner dialogue. And now I think they're hilarious.
Dude, they're fucking great.
I think like you have to be really clever. Where you have like 5 words and a picture, and you have to like you have to really get something done with that. It's like the Far Side comics. You remember the Far Side comics?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's just like the
Same
memes
thing.
are like a modern version of that. You don't have like multiple photos. You got one chance at this.
Yeah, the reason I say this all the time is the reason I love a meme, especially a good one. It portrays a lot of information really fast.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I love them.
Yeah,
dude.
and it's like shit you thought about. But you never said
you
never said it to anyone. You're like, I don't say that. I didn't think about that one. And then like all of a sudden, you
Why
see
you
a meme
laughing at
about
that because you said that? No, I never said that before.
No, I just understand the irony.
I get the irony. That's fucking great, dude. What popped in my mind though with a car, I don't know what.
Yeah, what would you get?
60, is it a 68 or 69? It's either 68, 69 or 71, 72. And I have to look at a picture. But a fucking Cadillac. Convertible.
Of course.
Right?
Where you can fit your whole entire crew.
The bench seat's as long as this bar.
Yeah, exactly.
The front seat, right? And it's the steering wheel that's 6 foot across.
Yeah.
Black with blood red interior.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
Where you could put my truck in the trunk.
Yeah, exactly.
One of those.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude. I saw one at a show one time and I'm like, because I'm a Jeep guy, a truck guy and all that. But I saw that and I've always loved the original, not a kit car, not like the Shelby Cobra.
Oh yeah, of course.
But
I wonder if either of us could fit in that.
I sat in one time.
Yeah.
And I needed a shoehorn to get in and out.
did
of it.
you? Yeah.
Yeah, I was.
Well, that's a Corvette for me. Like I'm not midlife crisis enough and definitely redneck enough to own one.
Right.
But I'm too tall for one.
Oh yeah, you look all gangly in
Yeah, my knees are against the dashboard,
dude.
Which is insane to me.
I got in a fucking
because like Americans are commonly 6'3", like 6'4". Like why the fuck can't they make them for like someone that of my height? I mean, that's never mind. I mean, that's messed up though.
Yeah, but the thing is, I remember getting in a fucking Mini Cooper with you.
Yeah,
I was like, what the? Well, we're walking to the Mini Cooper. I'm like, this guy's gonna fit. Holy shit.
Dude, that was a weird.
That was a fun car.
That was a fun car. It was a weird buy. I was like, I had like 1 hour to get a car, and I wanted something that was going to stand out, like because it was for the company. Yeah. Especially with my ass getting in it.
Oh my god, dude, that was so much fun.
I know it was. It was like a go kart.
I got in. This was back when I think I was in my late 20s. I was like 270 pounds.
Into the Ford GT?
No,
which one?
I got into Mazda, the little Miata.
Yeah,
dude, I was looking over the windshield.
Yeah,
I was fucking crammed into that. I could barely turn the wheel. Like I had to turn the wheel like this.
Not to mention, like your weight alone, like just messes up the whole entire suspension.
Oh yeah, It's way off balance, right? The guy's like, "You want to drive?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And he's like, "Oh, okay." I think he was hoping that I was like, "No, dude, I'm good." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll try it." But that fucking Cadillac, dude, that would be so much. Yeah. Dude, you got to roll down there smoking a cigar. Just
exactly.
Put a suicide knob on it.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Oh, dude, that would be amazing.
Did you ever watch Entourage? I don't know. Okay, so Entourage, HBO show, really good. I think he had a black Cadillac, and it was
a big yacht like that.
Yeah, it was a big yacht, and him and his like crew would go like
just out in it.
Like with the top down, you know, like could you imagine, like especially you being sober, Walt, now, like we just cruise into the city, hit a couple bars, and like cruise on out. Like, oh man, that'd be so much fun. That'd be so fun. I don't know how you would park it in the city, but
oh, dude, imagine they would charge you. Imagine what they would charge you.
2 spots, probably 2 spots.
You'd have to have 2 spots.
I don't think you could fit it.
Or
in
3 the long, because you'd have to put it the long way.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's so fucking long. If you might be able to get it in 2 spots at a diagonal, but then you don't want nothing to happen to it, right?
Exactly.
I don't know if it's fit in most of those garages.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, where would you park that? Oh shit!
Although I gotta say, my pickup truck is. It's only a 6-foot bed, and when I bring it in, they charge me just like a.
Oh, they do it in my Blazer too.
50% like increase or something.
Yeah, my Blazer they do too. My Trailblazer. Yeah, they nail me for that because it's an SUV.
Yeah, that's some bullshit.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
nah, it's money fucking.
Yeah,
it takes up as much room as your BMW.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
it
fits in the same spot.
Yep.
But no, that car would be. Yeah. How about motorcycles? You're not a big motorcycle guy.
I was going to ask you about that. I mean, I always wanted one, but like. I don't know.
Dude, I feel like you'd be
the risk thing for me. Like
that's why I figure you would like it, dude.
I know. And what I'm working on is, and I can't really say I'm working on it. I took my first airplane license like March 10th.
Oh, I saw a post about that. I was going to ask you.
I took that on March 10th.
Dude, I would get in an airplane with you
before COVID. Like just before it was fun. Like,
dude, that would be super fun because you flew over here, right?
Yeah, we flew
over to business.
Literally right downtown and right over my house accidentally. Like it was awesome. It wasn't like hey,
planned or nothing.
Hit these. I'm like, shit, that's a middle school by my house, you know?
Oh. But do you plan on getting a license and doing all that?
So the first day I went out, it was windy and rainy.
Nice.
And I'm like, hey, it's my first time, maybe we go out on a nice day. But these guys make money for every time they bring you out,
Yeah, he's like, fuck it, dude. Smooth seas don't make a good sailor.
Yeah, he's like, exactly. So he's like, let's go. So we actually were going 50 knots, if I remember correctly, 50 knots into the wind. But the wind was so strong that we were actually stalled. So we were going, and we actually got the plane to be going negative with you measure first the wind speed.
Right.
And then you measure the propeller speed. So
is that how you get the knots?
Yeah, well, they're both knots, but the wind speed, like you're going into like an onward force.
Sure.
So like if there was no wind, you should be going 50 knots.
Okay.
But since there's 50 or 60 knots of wind coming at you,
you're a negative.
You're going
10 knots.
negative. You're going backwards when trying to fly forwards. And he's like, dude, I've been flying for 10 years because he's like our age. He's like, I've been flying for 10 years. He goes, I've never gotten to do this. We're doing it today. And I'm like. well, that's cool, but like, I mean, by maiden flight, we take it easy. He's like, no, you're cool, bro. You're cool.
We got this, man. We got this. Fuck this. Let's go.
So anyway, it was
shit.
My adrenaline pumped for literally 24 hours because it was a rocky ride. Because it's a little plane. The plane's smaller than the Cadillac, smaller than your Blazer. It's not a big plane. But so I said, I talked to a bunch of people and like, dude, that was like one of the roughest days you'll go out in. So you should be fine. So as long as like I'm going to do it 5 times, and as long as I don't have adrenaline pumping for 24 hours after
each one,
then,
but isn't that
I
what
you get used to it though? Well, no, I want it to be enjoyable. I want to be able to go like cruising because honestly, my brother lives up in Vermont. I would love to be like able to
fly
pop up to Vermont.
Oh, that would be super cool.
Like in 2 hours, an hour and a half instead of like taking 7. a 4.5, 5 hour car ride.
To get to my parents' house, it's 7.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, so, they're way fucking north.
Yeah. So I mean, that's like, it would be cool to be like, okay, I'm going to come up there for the weekend. Because it's also a lot less, there's no traffic.
Right.
You're just kind of cruising through the air.
Man, that's cool.
Things.
So what got you into that, though?
So it's just kind of like my whole entire life is like do what other people don't commonly do.
Yeah.
So like that's just one of my things. Like I always like try to think of why don't people do that? I mean, that seems awesome. Why wouldn't someone do that?
Right.
Because usually they're too scared to do it.
Yeah, of course.
Or because someone told them that's stupid or that they couldn't do it.
I think you hit it super hard right there because people said, "Why are you doing that?"
Yeah.
Oh,
you can't do
suppressed.
that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think there's 2 forces. It's your own force, and then it's someone else's force that stop you from doing things.
Yeah.
And but that's what like kind of gets my mind going. It's kind of what gets me going, and that's like has made a lot of decisions.
That's cool, dude.
Yeah.
When I saw that post, I'm like, "Fuck, I got to call you on that." I had to fucking check you out because I'm like, that's the first thing I was like, "Man, what the hell is you doing that for?"
The cool thing is,
why you? I understand why you because I've known you for a while, right? So I can see you doing that, but I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." I just want to.
So and then going back to the motorcycle, I'll do it in a second. I just think in New Jersey, like,
fuck that.
I saw one guy die coming off a 287 coming to Morristown exit 35 one time. Like me and him were actually driving fast. I was in my G35 coupe, and like we were driving fast, and he
take a corner or somebody hit him?
he got like someone came into his lane. He overreacted and he laid the bike down, went into a guardrail,
killed him.
We killed him. We pulled over. I mean, he was like DOA, man. It was.
That's what
and I mean, it was before that I'd never wanted to drive because all the people out here, like, there's just too much traffic, because you don't have a bike anymore, right?
No, I sold it before I came out here.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is, what I noticed out here, and I've talked to some people that ride out here, right? I mean, you go to West Jersey or South Jersey.
Right. I mean, you come out to Mendon.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, it's beautiful.
Just don't head east.
Don't head
west.
east. Right.
Yeah.
But to get there, you got to go through all that.
Right. Yep.
And what gets me is where I think of it, I'm coming around a corner, 2 lanes of traffic or 3 lanes of traffic. We're coming around a corner, just like blood in the vein. Everybody's doing 60 miles an hour, right? Well, the roads are so fucking terrible.
Right.
For one, you come around this corner and I can barely keep my truck on the road.
Right.
Well, imagine if I'm on a fucking bike, I slow down and the guy behind me doesn't slow down and runs me over.
Yeah, exactly.
And that kind of thing. I'm like, I don't want to fucking.
That's it.
Yeah. But the thing too is, I was in an accident out in California last year.
Yeah, with Val.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And somebody says, "You ever going to ride again?" Well, fuck yeah, I'm going to ride.
Right.
Right? I've crashed a bike a bunch of times.
Right.
And they're like, "Why are you going to get on? It's scary. It's this, that, or wherever they sell themselves on." Right? And what I tell them is kind of what you're thinking with your airplane. I'd crash my bike, then I would ride for however long. I'd crash my bike again, right?
Right.
I always say there's 2 types of riders: those who've going down and those who've gone down.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And the experiences that I've had between each crash, I would have never had that if I decided not to get back on the bike.
Right.
I've had some incredible fucking experiences on a motorcycle.
Right.
Unbelievable.
Right.
Like story worthy.
Right.
Like, and I would have never had those. Or like with your attitude with the plane.
Right.
I'm going to try it again.
Yeah. Gotcha.
If it's like that every time, I'm good, man. It's not for me.
Yeah.
Right?
If I can't handle it, I can't handle it. But I'm going to try to like beat those fears for sure.
Right. Now you're going to go up and it's going to be you're going to go out on a day like this, and you're going to have an amazing time, and you're like, "Wow, this is what it's about," right?
Yep.
So yeah, bikes are.
Well, that's why actually, because now living in Mendham, I'm like, I could head west
without getting into too much shit.
I could drive it into town here and like not worry too much about going through town. I'm only 4 miles from work, so like popping into work like wouldn't be that bad.
Right, right. But what kind of bike would you get?
I don't know.
You never thought about it?
No, I did actually. I looked them up. I mean, the American. I would go Harley if I could. You know, if I found the right one. I also hear they're not as reliable. And then what's the American one? It's
Victory.
Victory, yeah.
Polaris makes that.
Yeah, is that right?
Yeah.
I heard they're pretty good bikes, and they're pretty like they got some.
They're
badass
nice bikes.
looking.
Yeah, there's some nice bikes.
Yeah, so I mean,
Indian makes a nice bike too.
And Indian, yeah, is the other one. I looked at all three of those. I would like American. I wouldn't go crotch rocket. I mean, I'm past those days.
Yeah,
you know?
fuck all that.
Even when I had a quad, I went like with like a powerful quad, not with a fast quad. You know,
right. Yeah. American Eagle.
Yeah, it was an American Eagle. Is that another brand?
No. You can rent them.
Okay.
Eagle something. God. I use them all the time, and I fucking can't remember their name.
Oh, you could rent bikes from them.
That's what I'm saying. You ever wonder what you would like? Fuck test driving them, dude. You don't have to.
That's a good idea.
You don't have to.
But you need a motorcycle license?
Yeah. You don't have a motorcycle license?
I think I actually do. Know why? Because I had a moped.
So you don't have a motorcycle license?
I had a moped license. I was 16, bro.
Dude, there's such
that was so hard to admit.
Oh my God, you were struggling. You're like,
oh God.
There's such a. I can't tell the joke. I'm not going to tell the joke. I'll tell you later, dude.
I know what it is. It's like riding a fat chick.
Oh, so you said it. Yeah. It's all fun until the buddies see you doing it.
Exactly.
Hey, there's some fun mopeds out there, dude.
I guess.
Yeah, I know.
Mine went 40 miles an hour. We used to cruise around West Milford. So West Milford was
it's not bad though.
Sub-rural town. Oh no, there was no worries about.
Right.
You know, we were 15 years old. I think we were allowed to get a license at 15, and we used to cruise around all over the place. We bought a couple $200 mopeds. It was a great time.
Just cruising. Yeah, absolutely. I would do that too. Where I grew up though, having a moped means you got beat up every day.
Yeah. Oh no, believe me, we did.
Yeah. You didn't pull any women in with that moped.
No.
That's what you're saying.
No.
The last bike I built, and I don't know if you ever seen pictures of it. I'll have to show you pictures of it.
I saw pictures of your bikes. I'm not sure of the last one you're talking about.
Yeah, so the one with the 18-inch apes, and when I was building it, so my ex-wife bought it.
You did show me that one with the big bars.
Yeah. So my ex-wife bought it. It didn't look nothing like that.
Yeah,
it was stock. And I've been a Yamaha man my whole life.
Okay.
Everything's Yamaha except one time I bought a four-wheeler because a guy gave me just a crazy fucking smoking deal on it, which I don't regret. That was a Honda.
Yep.
Great four-wheeler.
Yep.
But snowmobiles, dirt bikes, four-wheelers.
Oh, it's Yamaha? That's what my four-wheelers were Yamahas too.
100% Yamaha. So I was like, I was looking on like Craigslist or something, and I come across this Raider V-twin 1900 cc.
Nice.
Big fucking bike.
That's big.
Big bike. And I was like, oh my God, that's a fucking amazing deal, And I'm like, oh man, I would love to have this bike and da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, all right, well, I'm not going to think about it anymore. And one day, like 2 days later, I'm like, I'm going to see if that bike's still available. And it was fucking gone. And I was like, shit, man, somebody got a fucking crazy deal. Well, long story short, my fucking ex-wife bought it without me knowing it and gave it to me as a surprise.
Wow.
Right? So, cool, right?
Yeah,
it was awesome. And 2 weeks later, the only thing left on it in the garage was a transmission. So I had it all fucking torn apart, and I built it like a rat ride. So like flat paint on everything.
Nice.
I put 18-inch apes on it, put a bigger back tire, did the whole fucking chop the pipes.
So you worked
up
on them yourself as well.
Yeah, I love it, dude.
Yeah.
And a buddy was going to make me a sticker to put on the bike that said, X amount of hours, say 600 hours, X amount of dollars or something, and like 700 beers to build.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's like every time you're working on it, you're drinking beers and shit.
Yep.
But the guy goes, once it was built, you kept tinkering with it too, but we were out at this place and he goes, why'd you build a bike like this, man? And I go, well, because it's what I wanted. And he goes, yeah, but for what? And I go, man, I wanted a bike that scared men, that made men go, fuck, dude. Scared little children and made women wet. I said, that's exactly what I wanted. He goes, I think you did it. I go, yes, I did it.
That's all you needed too.
That's all I needed, man. That's it. And I remember I pulled up, my buddy and I had this route in Colorado we went riding on. It was so fucking nice. Just a perfect. And I don't condemn this. This is my disclosure. But having a fucking buzz when you're riding, amazing. It was fucking great, dude.
We used to do a lot of mountain biking, and we used to
get a little buzz going.
Get a buzz, whether we smoke or we drink. And
oh my god, dude, it was crazy. It was awesome. So we crashed at this bar, and I would have clear safety glasses to ride during the day, right? Or at night, and I would wear my sunglasses during the day, right? So we went fucking riding, and I never brought my clear glasses. So we end up at this bar.
Oh, man.
Next thing we know, it's fucking like 11 o'clock at night. Yeah. We're just completely fucking gone, dude. Right. And I'm like 15 minutes away from the house. And something that I did to the bike, and I still don't fucking want why I did it. When I put the apes on it, I never put the return spring back on the throttle.
Jesus.
Right? So,
for people that don't know, that means that like unless you make it slow down, it doesn't slow down.
So if you let
it keeps accelerating if you don't
So if
put your wrist forward again.
Right. So on a regular motorcycle, if you let off the throttle,
it'll spring back.
It springs back and you slow down. On this, if I let off the throttle, it would stay where I left it.
Right.
I don't know fucking why I did it that way. But anyway. So we come out of there and we're just fucking blasted. And I was like, fuck, I get home. And I was like, ah, shit, man, I don't have my clear glasses. And I was like, all right, well, fuck it. I'll just wear my sunglasses, Oh,
no. I was going to say eyes watering, but you just decided not to be able to see anything.
Nah, that's fine. So I'm coming through town, and I stop at the light, and I do the fucking Milwaukee stare. Yeah. Because I'm blasted, right? Yeah. So I'm just staring straight ahead. Well, unknown to me, I pull up to the light, and I never kick the fucking throttle back. Oh, shit. Now, this is 1900 cc's with a pipe on it like this long, which is like nothing, right? I mean, no baffle, nothing. Right. Bad! I'm like, so as I turn the throttle down, and I hear this lady going, hey, and I look over.
So you had popped it in neutral at least.
No, I still had the clutch in.
You did, yeah. Okay, so it was
neutral. It was neutral.
Yeah.
So the next thing I was going to do was put a hand clutch and a suicide shift on it. So we'll get into that after. So I was like, I hear this lady going, hey, and I don't have a back seat. Yeah. Right? A single seater. And she's coming across the intersection. Yeah. Like jaywalking across the intersection, right? And I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like looking around like, she talking to me? And she comes up without even saying a word, jumps on the back of my bike, puts her fucking legs around my waist, and hangs on. She's like, I need a ride home.
Oh my God.
And I was like, okay. And I'm like, don't make a scene because you're all fucked up, dude. You just got to go. So the light turns green. I'm like, Rah! And I go. And the thought that was going through my mind, she's got heels on, right? And I'm like, she's scratching the paint. And I'm like, dude, I don't know what I was thinking. I was like, that's all she.
That's what you were worried about.
Oh my God, right? And she's like, turn here, and turn here, right? And I'm like, all right, zoom. She's like, my house is right here. And I pull up to the, on the curb. And I'm trying to like clear my head because we got pretty fucked up, right? Yeah. And I'm like, holy shit, what the hell's going on here, right? So she jumps, she gets off, and I'm like, don't scratch her paint. She got these big heels on, and she's got that cheap perfume smell, right?
Perfect.
Oh my God. And I'm sitting here going, I'm like, all right, thanks. Yeah, see you later. And she's like, so, started to do the whole, you want to come in and all that. And like right out of a movie, dude, the screen door fucking on their front porch flies open. Some dude's like, who the fuck are you? And I'm like,
shit.
Fucking gone, dude. I didn't know if there was traffic coming or not. And I was like, fuck this, I'm out of here. So I pull into, I'm fucking married at the time, right? And I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck? So I pull in the garage, got a hoodie on with my leather vest, right? I never wore a helmet. In Colorado didn't have a helmet law. And I'm like, what the fuck is it? Oh my God, I smell like I could smell it.
You can smell the perfume?
Oh, I was like, oh my fuck. So I was like, oh God. So I took the fucking, of course I never brought my leather coat, I just left my leather in the garage, but like I took the fucking hoodie off.
Yeah.
I got into my car, took my shirt off, got in my car, got a fucking work shirt, and I come in, and my ex-wife's like, "All's good? Yeah, all's good. I'm gonna take a shower." What the fuck, dude? The next day I called my buddy. I'm like, "You'll never guess what happened." He's like, "Bullshit." I'm like, "Fuck, dude. There's a scratch, and there was just a tiny little scratch on my tank, dude." And if you ever have a motorcycle like that, you're proud of it, dude.
Exactly,
you don't want to fucking scratch it up. But yeah, she just out of nowhere jumped on the back of my bike.
That's awesome. You could only tell that story because it's your ex-wife, first of all. But second of all,
That's true.
You didn't tell me if it was 10-2 and the 2 was a 10, or if it was
Let me think.
10.
No. It's 2:00. Yeah. Not a good looking woman.
Yeah.
Not a good looking woman. She tried really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good for her.
Yeah. And it was one of those that I think the more clothes she took off, the worse it got.
Yeah.
I think she was held together by what she had on. I think, if I remember right. But anyway, that was an amazing bike, dude. Like, I would
That's
pull
a good
in.
story.
I would pull into my house. We lived like right in downtown.
Right.
In third gear, barely fucking chugging it, like riding the clutch, because it was so fucking loud that I was trying not to wake everybody up.
Right.
It didn't idle, dude. If I pulled up to a light and there's a car next to me on the exhaust side, I'd pull up, put it in neutral, and it would set the car alarm off.
Is that right?
Just at an idle. It'd go because I had it all set up to where it sounded like a muscle car.
Backfire.
Yeah, and it would just it would idle like it felt like it was going to stall at any minute.
Yeah.
But just breathe on the throttle.
Yeah.
Fucking that was a great. That was a fucking fun bike, dude.
It's way better than my SS sound, the sound of the Camaro SS. But the coolest thing would be when I came home and my little girls would be like, "Daddy, we could hear you for the last 3 minutes going home." Yeah,
that's fucking cool, dude. Absolutely,
absolutely. Yes,
There's something
and I would blast it from a mile away. I was like,
just so you could here I come.
Here I go.
Yeah. There's something about that though that I think
it's a very basic manly thing.
I think so.
It's like a barbaric thing. Like you can hear my roar. I
guess so. Maybe that's what it was. Like, look at me, right?
Yeah.
But it's not like some guys will use a Lamborghini or a Ferrari. You hear that. Some people like that,
I guess.
Right? To me, I would rather hear, an older Chevelle.
Something guttural. Yeah,
guttural.
Yeah.
I guess that guttural noise. I love that. And I love the feel of that where you're sitting at a light.
Yeah.
And the car is fucking. That's amazing.
But the
dude.
first time Joel got in my car, he's like, in the
your Camaro.
SS, yeah,
Your Camaro would do that.
The SS had a rock to it.
Oh, I love that.
Because
dude.
it was a 6.2 liter, dude. It was 425 horsepower, and they made it where it was just
amazing.
Yeah, and he's like, is this thing running okay? I'm like, you and your German cars.
Yeah, exactly.
It's running perfect.
This is perfect. This is exactly what I wanted.
Yeah. And then I'd always shift it into second gear, especially coming down by the grasshopper.
Yeah. My bike would sound like that.
Yeah.
Because I let off and it, the engine noise.
Yeah, exactly.
I had a old Oldsmobile that my buddy and I built this 350 and put it in, Chevy 350 and put it in an Oldsmobile. And it was a sleeper.
Yeah.
So it was a stock car. You couldn't tell nothing about it, but fucking run like a raped ape, dude. Unless you were standing next to it or saw it sitting at the light because it had the rock to it. And we would go up to, the whole fucking Miracle Mile. You ever see those?
Yep.
Like in Syracuse, we'd go up there and fucking race it and stuff.
That's awesome.
And the guy pull up next to us. And my buddy was driving at the time. He's like, "Are we racing?" He's like, "Fuck yeah." He's like, "What do you got in that?" And he's like, "A motor." He's like, "Fuck it, let's run it," And we raced and we beat him. Not by much, but we beat him. He's like, "What the fuck is in that?" He's like, "A V8 with a cam." Because that fucking motor was amazing. Yeah. Got it out of an old pickup.
Is that right?
Yeah, guy had a scrap pickup. And he said, the only thing you can't use on it is the oil pan. I'm like, all right. So I got it and we just, we stripped it down, boiled it, did all the whole thing. It was a total rebuild. Remember Dennis Kirk magazines? You never used where you could get all the fucking parts out of. It's one of those magazines, Ordered everything out of there. They had all these kits like you could buy and
Yep.
did all that. And it was so much fun building that.
Hell yeah.
And it was an automatic, right? On the in the middle.
Yep.
Not on the column, on the, well, anyway.
Yeah.
But we didn't hook up the vacuum hose from the transmission to the motor. So you would have to shift it. So the way you could go up with it,
Right.
but you'd have to shift it coming down because the vacuum from the motor is what helps work your automatic transmission.
Gotcha.
Right. So if there's no vacuum there, it's just you got to manually shift
okay.
it. And we did it. We
Yeah, I
left
never
it
knew
out.
that. Okay.
Yeah. We left it out on purpose.
Oh, that's
So you'd
pretty
have
cool,
to
yeah.
fucking run it like a standard, you
Right.
know. But that was a fun car too.
Yeah.
That's like horsepower, man.
Yeah, me too. That's like my thing is like, it's like, well, it's hard to go back to a car, so I took a year between my Camaro and the M6, and the reason being is like, I didn't want to go backwards. Like I didn't want to go. I wanted more horsepower. You know, my girls.
So you weren't going to get a Volvo station wagon?
No,
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and I had my pickup truck, and I was like, I'm cool with my pickup truck. I don't need this for standards or anything else.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get. The reason I get a car is because it makes me like happy as fuck. You know,
That's all you should. Fuck everybody else.
Yeah, exactly.
They're going to talk about you. Just do what you like, dude.
Yeah, and
That's
yeah,
it.
everyone's got a fucking opinion anyway. I'm sure tons of people hate that. Like I get 12 miles to a gallon. You know. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't give a fuck. Like I drive 4 miles a day. So anyway, I took me forever because I was like, well, what the fuck do I get that is more exciting than a Corvette engine and a fucking Camaro? Like, what gets more exciting than that?
Yeah.
And there's very little things, in my opinion. Like, you could talk about like all these like high powered like cars, and by the way, the BMW is not more exciting, but it's
different.
At least it's different. It's faster, and it's convertible. So, the
that-
convertible thing is pretty cool. Like I got to say, like, and it could fit my girls in it. Like.
And they
That's like
enjoy driving around the convertible, right?
Yeah, that's like a kind of a fun thing, but I don't know. To me, it's like always like my whole entire life. It's like, okay, what's the next thing? What's the next thing? I have that wanderlust, you know?
Yeah, of course.
You know,
Yeah.
so it's like, what's the next thing? What's the next thing? So like going backwards was not an option.
Right.
But I got to say, I mean, the American muscle, there's just
You can't.
there's nothing like it. Like I don't care like that. This one's faster. It's just not. It's not
the
as
same.
crazy.
Right.
No, it's just not as crazy.
It's like
It's
the BMW.
controllable. It's controllable muscle. You know.
Yeah,
like-
well, absolutely. Yeah.
You know, like,
So do you think that the BMW is cool, but it don't have any soul? Like a
yeah, I guess like it's like here's the thing. It's like the BMW's cool, reliable, and
and you get a lot, and it's a cool
Yeah.
driving experience, right? Because
So-
isn't that their thing? Oh
Yeah,
shit,
yeah.
is that their thing? Driving experience?
it is like it's like the ultimate driving
Oh,
experience.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
yeah. Good marketing on that.
So I mean, I guess if whatever I'll just say it is, it's like the Camaro was the crazy girl that you really couldn't keep that much control of.
But it was fucking fun.
Man, was she fun.
Yeah.
Man, was she fun. And then the BMW, much more refined. I could see myself with this car for the rest of my life.
Oh my god, dude! Oh shit, dude! All right? So what I've been saying forever since I can remember is women are like cars.
Oh, man.
100%.
How does Val react to that?
Oh yeah, I tell her all the time. Women are like, and it's gonna go to your point exactly. When you're young, you want something fucking fast, sleek, sexy,
Yeah, exactly.
just crazy,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
As you
Yes.
get older, you just want something that don't give you a lot of trouble.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Perfect.
Right? That's right.
Perfect.
You just said that.
Perfect.
I just put it in
Perfect.
I put it in a meme.
Perfect.
You put it in a
Yeah,
paragraph.
It's cool. It's cool. It's cool.
But so speaking of the Camaro, though, I have a great experience with one. So Val's parents they're separated, been forever. One lives in San Francisco, one lives in San Diego.
right.
So what we do is we go out every year to San Francisco, see her dad,
Yep.
figure out a cool way to go down to PCH,
Right.
right? So one year we're like, all right, let's get a convertible. Go online to the, Avis or fucking budget, whatever, car. All right, well, I guess it's Ford Mustang because that's the only thing they have. I want a convertible. Cool, no big deal. We're not in a fucking hurry or nothing.
Right.
Cool. All right. And Val went out before me, but because she goes to this thing with her dad to play chamber music and stuff like that. So I meet her out there. I said, I'll go get the car, and then I'll pick you up at the airport. Perfect. Go get my car. And I said, yeah, I'm here. This reservation. She goes, you want an upgrade? And I'm like, well, I have a Mustang convertible. What's the upgrade?
Right, yeah.
You know? And she goes, well, the Mustang is a year older and it's got a V6.
I got this LS1 Camaro SS.
And she's like, I got this Camaro, brand new, big fucking loaded.
Yeah.
I remember an SS, but I don't remember the model, but it was fucking loaded. And I was like, okay. And she goes, or I got a Corvette. I was like, I can't do a Corvette. I don't know. And she goes, white or yellow? I go, do you really got to ask me that? And she's like, I got you. So she hands me the thing. In San Diego, it's like a fucking mall.
Right.
And she's like, you're on the 3rd floor. So you take this escalator to the 3rd floor, right?
Yep.
Here's the key and doing all this. And here's a parking spot and doing all that. So I walk around the corner. And here's the lineup.
Yep.
Is the Ford,
Yep.
2 Fords, the 2 Camaros, and 2 Corvettes. And I was like, oh, the Camaro is just look at the muscle. It
breathes it, dude.
Yeah, just sitting there like, fucking come and get me.
Yeah.
Right? And I was like, oh, it's amazing. So I get in there, and it's got the push button, right? So I push in, and it goes, and I'm like, it's literally like giggled like that.
Yeah.
I like looked around, I shut it off, waited a second, started again, and it growled, and I was like, and I looked around, I shut it off, and I started again, and the fucking attendant comes around, and I go, oh, dude, he goes, I don't blame you, bro. I got you. I just want to make sure everything was all right. Put the top down, I'm like, oh, and I looked at the Corvette, and I'm like, it's not me, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what it is with.
It's a little bit too much look at me, the Corvette, right? Isn't it like a little bit too much like, hey, like I'm so different looking? Like, I don't
Maybe.
know, it's a look at me car type of thing.
Kind of like a Lamborghini and stuff,
it is,
right?
It is, yeah. It's exotic. It
where,
really is. I mean, it's an American, but it's still exotic, you know?
Yeah, to where the Camaro is like, fuck you looking at.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I got you, man.
Yeah.
What?
Don't be too impressed, motherfucker.
Yeah. What are we doing here? I'm up for anything. What, you want to go fast or you just want to hang out?
So at the SS, I swear to God, it happened at least a couple times, but it was different things that people said. But one time I'm up on Sussex Turnpike in Randolph at that Exxon, what is the name of that cross street? Anyway, it's like up in Randolph, and I got gas, and the car was already like a year and a half old. And the guy was, the attendant, a white kid, he's like, man, cool car. I'm like, thanks. And when I started it, after he filled it, he yells out, America! America! Exactly. He was so stoked because it had like that cold start. It was just like, It just like had such an amazing cold start.
Yeah. Just, there's something that you don't get. Some people, it's like did you see, like you watch the Fast and Furious movies?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
The same thing where, those little cars. I think that's fucking amazing. They can get those cars to do that shit.
I know, 300 horsepower, the 4 cylinders. Yeah.
Right, and just running like that and drifting and all that shit. That's cool as shit. But no, man, just, give me a muscle car, dude. And I just hand down the steering wheel, smoking a cigar, and then if you want to go fast, we can go fast.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's got that combination.
Yeah,
of,
and I'm not trying to run around too many corners with this thing, by the way.
Yeah, I just want to go fast in a straight line.
A straight line.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But fuck, dude. Thanks, man.
Of course, bro.
Good time.
Yeah.
Always fun talking about.
I'm sure we could talk about cars forever.
Oh, comparing to women. But anyway, we'll leave it at that.
I know. Let's see if anyone gets that deep in there.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll look for the comments.
Fucking dumpster fire this shit. So I'm going to kick your ass in some pool, yeah?
Okay, let's play.
Yeah, you bring your money?
I got cash.
Oh, boo.
Do you got cash?
Yeah.
Okay, bitch, let's go.
Thanks, dude.
All right, you got it, brother.
Thanks for listening, everybody, and I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. I know Nick had a good time, and I'll definitely have him back on the show for some other things that are coming up in the future. But jump in the show notes, and you can get a direct link to 40 Pints, see what that's all about, and also his marketing company, direct link to there as well. And then don't forget, liverishi.com, use the code word table, get some nice hookups for some quality CBD. And would love for you to go over to YouTube, Walt's Kitchen Table, hit the hit the subscribe button, like and share. That would be awesome. Helps the channel out a ton. And you want to get a hold of me, best way to do that is Instagram at WKT Podcast. And my website, of course, waltskitchentable.com. Until next time, much love.